Right, it seems there are no questions about algorithms, and as I said, that topic is not important in our course that much, but it was nice to know about them anyway, because in the future we will talk about graph and trees, and we want to organize our steps in terms of algorithms sometimes, so it was nice to know about them anyway. So for the first assignment, you already dealt with that during last week. The teaching assistant of the course already went through the grading, and you already seen the solution for the first assignment. But the reason I want to talk about it in details, not that much details actually, but briefly, but I want to show you the way. The reason is that for midterm and final exam, we cannot have any errors when we are providing the solutions. You will have 24 hours to provide the solutions. It will be take-home exam, so that's why you should be very careful in order to provide the solutions in midterm and final. Each error can decrease points. That's why we should be very careful about that. And that's why as much as possible during our online sessions, I want to talk about weekly assignments and how we can provide the perfect answer in order not to lose any points for midterm and final. For weekly assignments, it's the decision of your TA that whether you get 0, 50, or 100. And as I mentioned, even if you get 100, it doesn't mean that it was a perfect solution. So let's go through them one by one. So for the first question, construct the truth tables for the followings. And we assume that for these propositions, we have these binary numbers for each of them. The perfect way to go through them was to use the truth table and even construct a table and show it in each column what's going on. And for example, if I just want to consider this one, E, then for each one of these digits, you will have one row. So this is first row, second row, and so on. So you would need 10 rows for that. But let's say even let me bring the, by the way, solution. These are just the questions. So let me open the solution file. Okay, so let me share with you the other file which contains all the solutions. What I want to say is that it's fine even for midterm and final to provide it without tables as the way it was shown in the solution. But since we mentioned about truth table, it would be nice anyway to show on the table. But if you don't, even for midterm and final, it doesn't matter. Okay. So for part A, let's go through this compound proposition. So to deal with that, you should know about the orders that which one is important to go through it first. And whenever you see parentheses, you can also deal with them separately. So we already know that negation has higher order, that we should go through it first. So in order to do that, you know that you should go through it one by one. For example, 0. If this is 0, it should be 1. If this is 1, it should be 0. It's pretty easy. Then for implication, you already know that, how to deal with it. It's very easy. We went through it a lot through the lecture. And at the end, when you deal with these parentheses, then you can deal with this disjunction. So at the end now, we had all ones for it, because this one happened to be ones, and if either one of them has such a situation, we have a series of ones at the end. As you can see, for other parts, it's not the case. So for double implication, you know that this is false if one of them has different value. Like for example, one of them has 0, the other one has 1. This could be problematic. So what I want to tell you guys is that for the midterm and final, even if we ask you about truth tables, it's okay to provide it like this. So one by one you can show it, and at the end show the final answer. But the complete solution should contain these steps. You should show us for sure that what would happen to negation of P, for example. Even for this one, which sounds very easy. Don't directly construct this part, okay? So it depends on you whether you want to show it on table or not, but provide us all the details. And for this case, as you know, this is very similar to disjunction. The only difference is that even at the same time, if they are 1, then this is false, because either one of them should be the value of 1. Otherwise, we consider it as 0. Okay, so you can ask me your questions after that when we finish about all the questions. So for the second one, show that each of these conditional statements is a tautology by using truth table. So to show that conditional statements or any propositions are a tautology, then in that scenario, at the end, we should show that all of the rows contain truth value. If they are not true, if they are false, even one single of them, it means that it's not a tautology. So for this one, you should again construct it one by one. And to do that, we don't have any 0 and 1s anymore. Some of you used these values. For example, for P, you use this one for the second question, but in the second question, it's a different story. It's not related to question number 1. It means that you should consider all the possibilities. So since we have 2 values, 2 variables, or 2 propositions, it means that you should have 4 different conditions here. So T, 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 F, F, T, F, F. If you had more, like the part B, then you should have more, you see? So you have 3, 1, and for each of them, this is 2. So how many you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is true. It means that this is 2 power 3. Or 2 multiply 2 multiply 2 for each position. Because you have either true or false. True or false. True or false. 2 multiply 2 multiply 2 for 3 times. It is 2 power 3. So if you have, for example, 4 propositions, what it would be? It would be 2 power 4, right? So as much as you have, you can formulate it by 2 power something as the number of propositions. So our goal is to, at the end, show that all of them are true in any possibilities as we have. So 4 possibilities we have, 4 true value, true proposition for the whole compound proposition. So if in the exam you just show this part as the last column, then you didn't provide us the solution actually, because you should show us all the steps before it, even negation, disjunction, each part that you should calculate something, you should do it and include it inside your truth table. So to provide the complete solution, don't forget to consider all of them. And for example, in the last one, this one is not organized because we don't see exactly which one is related to which true or false values. So my suggestion to you guys is that you use borders for your tables. If you use borders, then we understand that, for example, this one is related to this one is related to the 5th column. So use borders for your tables, it will look much better. For all of them, as you can see, we show that the last column should contain only true, not any false. Even one false will not make it a tautology. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. For your second assignment, if you have any questions, please let your TA know about those questions during the week.